Hey everybody, I'm James Melzer for MovieWeb, and today I am sitting down with the highly talented and inspirational Dominique Columbus, who stars as Reef alongside Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor in the reimagining of the Patrick Swayze classic Roadhouse. Dom, how you doing today? It's good to talk to you.
Amazing. No, thank you for having me on. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I've been checking out your work. I've been checking out your social media. You're an interesting guy.
Much
Um,
love.
so before we get into Roadhouse, I just kind of want to go back to the beginning for a little bit and sort of introduce you to our audience who might not be familiar with your work. Um,
Mhm.
Growing up, you had an extremely supportive family. They supported you in everything you did. As I understand it, you had some scholarships for a variety of different sports, boxing, track, swimming. But you kind of set those aside and instead decided to pursue film school. So, what drew
Mhm.
you to the creative arts and acting more specifically?
I mean, to be honest with you, I had an opportunity when I was a kid to do Disney projects. I received some offers off back. Back in the day, you'd be at like Target or a grocery store, and a random agent would approach you. Because we didn't have the social media. So I got approached by one of the agents just walking in the aisles. Had an opportunity to go and audition, and I got casted. My parents sat me down at the time. They said, "Hey, Dom, this is what's going on right now. You have an opportunity to do TV and go into the road television." But I also know at the time frame, I was really, really gung ho of doing sports. I really wanted to do track. I really wanted to just get into like the athletic side of things with my friends because all my friends at the time were doing sports. So I told them at the time, I said, hey, look, right now in life, I want to do sports. I want to do acting when I graduate high school. So that was a decision I made when I was a kid. So throughout, my years of middle school and high school, like I said, I had multiple scholarships in terms of swimming, for diving. Boxing was my main sport, so I had a lot of opportunities to take a pro route and going in that field. But my heart wasn't in it. I believe that whatever you do, your heart needs to be 100% in it. So I knew what I wanted to do. I denied my scholarships and had this conversation with my family. And I was like, look, this is what I want to tap into. And I want to go study at Meisner. I want to go study theater at this other college. I was in a community college for a year. Decided to go to LA Film School. My dad sat me down one day. He said, look, if you want to be in this business, you need to be more than just an actor. You need to be somebody who knows how to tell stories, because the power is in the pen, so learn how to write, learn how to produce, learn how to direct so you can create other opportunities. So explored the route of film and I fell in love with it and here I am.
That's amazing, man. Did you
Yeah.
were you surrounded by the creative arts growing up? Or like, were there other creative types
Yeah.
in your family?
Yeah, luckily, growing up, my family is very, very specific. It's either entertainment or sports. There's really like no in between, right? So, my dad used to be a professional dancer and choreographer as well. So he used to tour the world with Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, David Bowie, the list goes on. So I definitely grew up in a household of entertainment. From his friends coming up by, different actors, different actresses, Megan Good would come over, all these other great people come over at a young age. And I got to see what it was like uh, at a very young age to like do what you love, but on a humane level. It was like no label. So definitely grew up in the field, and that's why I definitely had a natural interest in it. And mostly my family, we either do like I said entertainment or sports. There's no in between. You know.
That's awesome. Now, I guess you could say you kind of got your big break with Ray Donovan. You were in
Mm-hmm.
17 episodes of that. From there, it was City of Lies with Johnny Depp. You were on NCIS. So let's get into it. How did Roadhouse come your way? And I guess what was the audition process like for you?
You know what? For me, it was very interesting. I think it's all about divine timing,
Hmm.
uh, synergized with manifestation. What I mean by that is this: a year prior, before I had the audition for Roadhouse, I had set it in my mind to want to focus on the lane of action. Growing up, out of all the sports I did, the sport that I excelled in the most was boxing. I love boxing. It's just something that's just like ingrained into my family. Um, as the year went by, I had put a mission in my head. I said, look, I need to gain 20 pounds of muscle. I want to prepare and set myself up to be a leading action man in this town, and I need to start putting on size. I need to start getting, in shape for these type of roles. So as I started gaining size and gaining weight, I happened to get hit with this audition. I sent in a self tape. And what was really cool is I didn't really hear back from him for a little bit. Some time went by, about like a month. And at that time, I was just locked in, just still just working out, just going hard. Once I found out that I had the opportunity to book it, I had another 2.5 months to like really prepare, you know what I'm saying, to like really get ready for this. And I just doubled down, I put on some exercise, some extra weight, and then just locked in and then just got ready.
That is awesome. Did you now did you see the original and sort of understand what you were getting yourself into at the
Absolutely.
time? Like
Absolutely.
how beloved this movie is, and sort of the legend that this reimagining has to live up to. Did you know that going in?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, my dad was a big fan of Roadhouse. He would tell me a lot of amazing stories on, him and his friends, how they felt during that time frame when it came out in that era.
Right.
So I was just excited, honestly, just to be part of something my dad was a fan of. And to me, I think that's nothing more special than that when it's like you're on things that your family loves, your parents are actually fans of.
Yeah. Has he got a chance to see the movie?
No, not yet,
No,
not
not
yet.
yet.
Yeah, just like
Oh,
just,
man.
just like everybody else is just waiting until the rest of the world can see it. I'm excited. Mm,
I saw him on your Instagram when you
mm.
shared the trailer. You had a whole lot of love come out from your family just supporting
Yeah,
you and everything you do, and I thought that was
very
amazing.
thankful.
That was
Very thankful.
amazing.
Mm,
Um, so you got the part. What
mm.
was it what was the first day of shooting like for you? Like, were you on set right away with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor, or did you shoot something else the first day? Do you recall what that was like for you?
No, day one was with Jake.
Okay.
Is with Lukas, Gage as
Yep.
well, BK Cannon. Um, and again, it was just how can I say, first day was like just very organic.
Right.
That's the key word I can use. It just felt very organic. Um, Everybody was just ready to work. Everybody's there. It's just treating being an actor or working on this level.
Mhm.
It's like being a pro athlete. You got to prepare, and then when it's time to go, it's time to go. So yeah, you're on the field. If, for example, you're a football player playing with other greats, like cool, but we're here to do a job.
Yeah.
So day one, it was awesome with the energy. Everything was organic, and then now it's like, all right, we're here. Let's get to work.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about that because I got a chance to see the movie a couple times, and
Mm,
in the film, it's yourself, it's Jessica Williams, Lucas Gage, you got BK Cannon, and I thought the movie did a really good job of sorting of portraying you guys as sort of that work family. You guys seem like a big family,
mm.
in the movie. So was it like that on set? Did you all sort of bond as a family?
That was the best part about set.
Yeah.
It just felt like summer camp.
Yeah. That was
Me and the cast, I feel like we really clicked. The energy was so magnetic. And that's what I feel like brought a lot of energy to this project,
right.
just based off of the energy, even behind the scenes, because of the energy. So it was just dope. I absolutely got a lot of love for a lot of the cast. I mean, we actually developed some very, very strong relationships post production, which has
Right.
been this part because sometimes you do work and you guys don't talk anymore. Now we all still communicate, we talk, checking on each other, and it's real love.
Yeah, again, going back to your Instagram, when you share that trailer, you got a ton of the cast members on there just all coming out to support one another. And I thought
Man,
that was fantastic, man.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
such a blessing because not every production is like that. So being able to have that is a massive blessing. And it's just cool. It's just we're all elevating each other, we all support each other, and that's just what we want to continue to show in this business. It doesn't have to be any animosity, just love. Let's help each other out.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Mhm.
One specific scene I just want to talk about real quick. Obviously you're in great physical shape. You still do boxing. Now
Mhm.
there's that scene in the movie where Conor McGregor comes into the roadhouse. He's messing stuff up as only Conor
Mhm.
McGregor can. And there's that moment where you kind of go toe to toe with him for a little bit in the movie. So what was that like? What was that like for you with your boxing training? Did that sort of come into play with the choreography?
Absolutely. 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 That was something that we definitely honed in on. Um, Connor was dope. You know what I'm saying? It's
He's very intimidating in the movie. Like he's crazy, and I loved it.
the energy on set though, love, love, and I'm keeping it real with you, you know, because for me it was so fluid for us to work when it comes to the stunt choreography and doing what we're doing because it helps that we both had fight experience. Yes, Conor is on a much higher level than I am in terms of the fight game, but at the end of the day, my first half of my life was boxing.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So everything that was surrounding my life and my family was boxing. So I come from that world, you know, from like old school. Like I come from that. So there's this symmetry, this synergy we understood. So even with rehearsal, when we're throwing shots, when we're practicing, like everything was so on the money with timing. It was very respectful. Even if we had certain stunts where it's like things were like, if it's like him like having to kick my leg, like it was very like let's make this dance happen. You know what I'm saying? And let's make this work. So it was a pleasure. It was honestly a huge blessing to have the opportunity.
That's fantastic, man. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
thought, you guys shot this film in 2022, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now it premieres at South by Southwest on March 8th. It makes its way to Amazon Prime on March 21st. Um, Now, do you feel, I don't know if disappointed is the word or a little let down that it's not getting a theatrical release? Because watching the movie for me, I mean, there's some scenes in there, there's some sequences in there where I was watching it and I was like, man, this would have been cool to see on the big screen. But at the same time, the world is changing and everything seems to be going streaming nowadays. And honestly, I think a lot more people are going to get a chance to see this on streaming. So, do you feel? I don't know. What's your take on all that?
But at the end of the day, I'm just excited for the world to see it. It's gonna be a global hit. There's a lot of homage
Yeah.
in the new version of Row House that I think people are gonna be happy about.
Hmm.
And it's action packed. It's just such a fun movie to watch. So for me, I'm just excited for the world to see it. It's gonna be a global hit, and I'm just excited for that to happen.
Absolutely. Like I said, I saw it and it really took me back. It's kind of like a throwback to those action movies of the 90s. It's hard hitting, it's fun. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of humor sprinkled throughout that really worked. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think for the naysayers out there, they're like, "Oh, it's not Patrick Swayze's Roadhouse." It's not. It's its own thing, and it does a fantastic job of working. I thought it all came together really well. It was way better than I was expecting it to be. I loved
People
it.
reaction is what's exciting,
Yeah,
like this is what I'm excited for more of the world to feel, this energy that you're bringing, how you're talking about it. And like this is what I feel like is the exciting part, what I'm saying, and hearing how you even recognize the homage and the differences, but then the flavor of this is what's exciting is all I got to say.
yeah, it is
Mhm.
definitely exciting.
Mhm.
Roadhouse premieres March 21st, Amazon Prime. What's next for you, man? You got anything else coming down the pipe?
Yeah, right now I'm actually in the process of getting ready to release my own short film. It's an
Oh,
action short film called Street Code that me and my best friend actually created. His name's Reggie Luckett.
okay.
But it's about two LAPD officers that get a domestic violence call, and when we show up to deal with the situation, things turn for a left. Um, and I have another movie, called that all that we love. I'm excited for that to come on the time is right. But yeah, there's a lot of things in the can right now that I'm excited to talk about when I get more clearance too. So
Absolutely, yeah.
that's where it's at right now.
All right, man. Dominique Columbus, I really appreciate your time. Just one quick question before you go. I got a chance to check out your Inspire to Inspire podcast, man.
Amazing.
I loved it. I love how you just sit down with other creative types. You just
Thank you.
discuss the process of life.
Mhm.
What does that mean for you? How important is that for you to just be able to do that
Yeah.
and spread that love?
Honestly, to me, that's my way of servicing.
Yeah.
So I'm a person that believes that our purpose gets revealed through our passion,
Mhm.
right? So the reason why I'm saying that is I love acting and I love filmmaking. That's my passion. Like doing that is equivalent to like just breathing. Like when I'm on set, it just feels like breathing. It feels like the most like second nature thing that like just feels organically aligned, right? But then now it's like what to do with that, you know? And the reason why I wanted to create this podcast is I remember how I felt during the 2020 period with the pandemic when there was no work in the world. You know, I had projects out in the atmosphere that hadn't came out just yet. And I went through, I feel like my first real season of being discouraged as an actor, you know? So what would help me out with connecting the dots in my own reality was watching like Actors Roundtable. So when I would watch these other actors, you know, on the Hollywood Reporter talk about certain moments in their life, certain time frames, certain chapters of what they went through, it has helped me remove that weight off of my own shoulders. And I was like, wow, that was so much easier for me to figure out because I heard someone talking about it. So now that I'm in that position, and the fact that like my castmates and my peers and we're all on that level and we're continuing to elevate, I think I just took on that role of just being like, no, I just want to be the person that has a platform for other actors, content creators, and entrepreneurs to tap into and connect the dots within their own reality. Now, why is it those three? Because they're all synonymous. As an actor, you need to understand show business. There's an entrepreneurship that still comes with that. When you're a content creator, it's still aligned with entrepreneurship, business, marketing. So there's a lot of these things that I feel like actors and content creators deal with in forms of rejection, in forms of, you know, maybe not getting the immediate results that you want. And being able to have this on a podcast and talk about these things, just gonna help the kid at home connect the dots. I want to speed up his learning curve. And I want to be like, okay, so this is how you do this. Let me try this and just elevate. So that's the point, you know, the podcast. And I'm excited for it to keep growing, you know?
That's awesome, man. I can hear the passion in your voice.
Yeah,
That
thank
is
you.
fantastic, man. Hey, man, it was good to talk to you. I really appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing what's you got a bright future ahead of you, man. I look forward to seeing what
Appreciate you.
comes next,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you. Such a pleasure. Thank you for having me on. I love your energy and this is exciting. Thank you.
All right, man. You take care.
You too. Thank you.